You love hopping up here. Oops. Your snack is right there. It's 7 feet away. Yesterday you hopped up here just to annoy me. Well, hello Glue Troopers, and I'm here slaving over a hot computer, and I wanted Miss Honey to come make an appearance. I even put a treat up there, but she's sitting on the bed staring at me like, I'm sorry, Mr. DeMille, that's not in my contract. So perhaps she'll make a showing. But I got a box today from Mr. Dillon up in Canada, and I swear it may sound like a cliche, but Canadians really are the nicest people on the planet. So let's see what's in here. Okay, as usual, I cut the box open earlier, but I have not looked at the contents. So, here's the note right on top. Good morning or good evening, Max. Evening now. I have probably given away 150 kits in the past 10 years. Good on you, mate. I can never remember who I passed them on to, and sometimes don't recall sending them away and go looking for them. I enjoy the fact that the ones I send to you, I get to see them in the background of the Tarbus, and sometimes might even get to see them built. Ed, north of 56. Well, all right, Ed. Let's see. Oh, here we go. The Great Races, a book on air racing. Oh, nice. Now that's how you make a bookmark. Oh, there's the S6B, the kit that I just, the Supermarine, I mean, the one I just built. Okay, I'm going to enjoy reading this. Some magazines, Mechanics Illustrated, Vintage. Oh, I'll put that up later. Oh, a smear kit of the Macchia Castoli, the MCS72. And I don't know how the lighting's not that great in here, but this is kind of the Italian answer to the Supermarine, and you know, this is back when the float planes are stealing all the records. And it's got, I think it's got that funny contra-rotating propeller. I haven't actually studied this, but I'm not, yeah, they go different directions. I think I built one smear kit a while back, and was it smear? I'm not sure. But anyway, I look forward to this. Will give me an opportunity to evaluate the smear kits also. Oh, one of my favorite airplanes of all time, the Staggerwing Beach. This one's by Eschi, and I've been told it's pronounced Eschi, not Eski. Let's see, 148 scale. Well, that's gonna go perfectly with planes like the GB and the like. Okay, you know, that was the Learjet of its day. Oh-ho! You guys know what a Battle of Midway fan I am. SPD from the Battle of Midway. It's going to go great with the Vindicators. This is, and the Avenger. This is VMSB 241. VMSB 241 was the Marine Corps squadron that was based on Midway Atoll. And they were, at that point in the war, they were in the transition to the SPD. Now, there's, this is the SPD-2. The Navy had already started going to the -3, which caused some problems later on because I believe it was Captain Browning was doing some calculations, and there was an argument with some of his flight officers because he had made the calculations based on the -2, which had a different fuel burn than the -3. I remember reading about that in Shattered Sword. But VMSB 241, if you guys are all familiar with the Battle of Guadalcanal, the fighting for Henderson Field, well, Henderson Field was named for the squadron commander, Lofton Henderson, who was killed in the battle. In fact, just about almost every torpedo commander and almost every dive bomber commander was killed, or a lot of them were. The only people that dropped torpedoes, that the commander that came back was one of the B-26s, and yes, B-26 Marauders were at Midway, 4 of them, not a dozen of them like they showed in the movie. And they didn't drop bombs, they dropped torpedoes. In fact, somebody asked me recently if I could talk about the B-26 Marauder, and I'd like to, but I've actually been doing a little research for it, but there are a few facts I have to get straight before I get into that. I built the 148 scale B-26 to use in my little documentary, and you'll see some of the worst special effects in YouTube history on there, but I tried to make it look like the earlier model, and Valone made an early version of the kit. But anyway, this will go great with my Midway collection. I thank you very much. The SBD, man, slow but deadly. The barge, heck of an airplane. About half the squadron, I think they had 16 SBDs at Midway and 12 Vindicators. And one of them had engine trouble, had turned back, but 11 of them still attacked. And believe it or not, the Vindicators actually took the lowest losses. They lost 3 in combat versus half. They lost 8 of the 16 SBDs. But that's largely because by the time the Vindicators got there, being so much slower, that the Japanese combat air patrol was really losing its cohesion, and the Vindicators never got to the carriers. They tried dropping their bombs on a battleship. I think it was the Haruna, and one of them was a paint scraper. It didn't really damage a ship, but it definitely gave it a bath in seawater. Oh, here's another GB. Now this one is painted without the little blue trim, but you know I'm going to try to do the trim again. I've actually been thinking of a way to do this, and thank you, Ed. What I'm planning to do is put the blue marking on it first, and then once the blue marking trim is on it, then tape it off and trim it. And I'm also going to make sure to cover these in a good coat of clear coat, because the last set of decals I had just deteriorated on me. So these look like they're in pretty good shape, but you never know until you dip them in the water. So thank you for that. And another shot at the GB. I have a pair of them. And ooh, this is nice. Ha-ha. 148 scale C-18S Beech 18, and American passenger aircraft. One of the most successful, famous aircraft in the world, the model Beech 18. I've skydived out of one of these. I've never flown one. That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. I'd appreciate that. And we have, another Lady Lindy. We have the Vega and 172nd scale. And this is like Amelia's airplane. I believe this is an Amelia Earhart's bird, because they call it the Lady Lindy. And they've got the Lockheed Vega down there in the corner of the artwork. Aha! And Canada's greatest export. Tim Hortons coffee. Nobody saw me, you can't prove a thing. Thank you, Ed. I appreciate that very, very much. Wow, the Diva's still over there. Just doesn't want the fans to see her, does she? Oh well. Here's your treat. Wow, she won't even get up and move 2 feet to get her treat. We spoil her, guys. Thanks for that. I appreciate it. I've been sitting away here, slaving away over a hot computer, getting the Viewers Build 11 ready, and I've got it pretty much laid down. Now what I have to do now is I've got the music picked for it. I just have to finish editing the pictures. You watch 5 seconds after I turn this camera off, she'll hop up there and stare out the window. Oh, she's sniffing the Tim Hortons. Ever since I did that Starbucks video with her, she's been hooked on coffee. Ever since you guys might remember, in fact, I tack it on the end of this one if I can find it. We as a gag, I did the sound of Starbucks gag video with her, and I let her licked the empty cup, but apparently there was still some coffee residue in there, and ever since then, caffeine cat. We call it cat fiend, or in her case, haha, the cat fiend. I'm so clever. Guys, once again, thanks for tuning in. I hope you're having a great evening, and keep on modeling.
Hello, coffee, my old friend. I've come to order you again. I hear the grinding of espresso beans. I need a double shot of pure caffeine. And the indie band on the speaker soothes my brain. So I'll remain within the sounds of Starbucks. Tried to brew my own at home, but felt so quiet and alone. I need to be amid the morning rush, where the leather chairs are soft and plush. And I'll drink a grande cappuccino with a pumpkin scone and charge my phone. Listen to the sounds of Starbucks. Then I heard an awful scream. They had totes run out of cream. A new employee spilled the coffee grounds, and the Wi-Fi went completely down. And a lady in yoga pants threw her latte at the wall. The cops were called. Then came the sound of sirens. And in the drive-thru lane I saw 1,000 hipsters, maybe more. People paying without drinking. People waiting, they were all freaking. People going off 'cause they couldn't get a caramel frap. Holy crap. A riot started at Starbucks while a Bible study prayed. Baristas formed a barricade. The manager cried out a warning to the angry mob that was forming. And he said, I checked Google Maps, there's another one across the street. So we stampede and return to the sounds of Starbucks.
Tastes fishy.